Have you been feeling waves of tiredness and mental exhaustion? The type of feeling that just has you wanting to spend the whole day in bed scrolling on your phone and watching Netflix after Netflix instead of doing what needs to be done. In those moments, inspiration is low, motivation non-existent, and action definitely not happening. That, my friend, is called a productivity slump, and you are not alone. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rain and thank you for joining me. So, productivity slumps, right? Why do we fall into productivity slumps and how do we get ourselves out of it? So, a productivity slump is defined as a time or a period in your life where you just feel tired, whether it be physically, mentally, emotionally, or psychologically, but you are just feeling tired, demotivated, uninspired, and therefore you don't take any action towards any of the dreams that you have for yourself. In short, it's a period where you are feeling unmotivated, uncreative, and you just have lack of energy. So, why do we fall into these productivity slumps? We fall into a productivity slump, one, because of things that happen to us that are beyond our control. That could look like losing your job or losing a loved one or having a fight with your friend that you've known for a very long time and that really affects you emotionally, right? So all these things will put you into a productivity slump because now you have all these big and deep emotions that you have to deal with. But if such things are becoming way too hard for you to handle, please by all means seek professional help, because professional help is there to help you cope with things that are a little bit too hard on the days when it just gets a little bit too cold, right? Number two, we fall into productivity slumps because, well, we are burnt out. We are tired, right? I mean, it's August now. It's almost the end of the year, or we are just like four months towards the end of the year. So people are just naturally tired by the time of the year. We poured so much of ourselves into the goals that we had for ourselves in the beginning of the year. So by the time that October, September comes, we are exhausted. So it just means we need to take some time off, go on a mini vacation, go chill somewhere, but just take a few steps back and then get yourself back into it, right? Some people fall into what I call partial slumps. These are slumps where maybe you get a slump on a Monday. You just get like this productivity slump on a Monday and you're just not in the mood on Mondays. But when Tuesday rolls around, you're in the mood. And then so on and so on and so on. Some people get a slump in the mornings. They're not into being productive in the mornings, but it doesn't linger too long so they can get themselves out of it. But if you feel like you've been in the slump and it's just lingering a little bit too long and you can't get yourself out of it, well, this video is for you. So how do we get ourselves out of a productivity slump? Number one, list all your distractions. Yep. When you're in a productivity slump and there's certain things that are leading up to you being in this productivity slump, you need to list them. For me, when I'm in a productivity slump, things that tend to distract me the most are my phone, Netflix, and just wanting to find other things to do that are not necessarily being productive. You know that feeling where you just want to be busy, but you know you're not being productive? Yes. List all those things that are a distraction to you, right? Number two, be intentional about minimizing those distractions. What that looks like would be for me to put on do not disturb mode on my phone, to have limits on my apps, how long I could use each app, and have restrictions on when I could watch the TV. Because at the end of the day, the TV is there and you need to be able to control your urges. Whether it's to watch TV or it's to scroll on your phone, you can have all these things written, but you need the discipline to make sure that you can actually execute all the things that you have set for yourself. So minimize any and all distractions as much as you can. Number three, make being productive easier. What does it look like? If you're trying to get back into your fitness grind, making being productive easier looks like preparing your workout clothes the night before. It looks like having healthy food around easily. It looks like preparing some of your meals the night before so that the next day you're not thinking about, oh, I still need to cook. Oh, wow, I forgot to defrost the meat. Oh, I forgot this. And then it makes eating unhealthy more appealing and a lot easier. So make things easier for yourself by preparing things beforehand. Now, if you're trying to get into reading again or journaling again, it would be more beneficial for you to put the book where you can see it. That looks like putting your book on your bedside table so you can read before you sleep, or you can journal before you sleep. So basically, out of sight, out of mind. So you need to make sure that whatever habit that you're trying to get back into is always on sight. You're constantly reminded of it, right? And then once you make being productive easier, right? However way that looks like, sometimes you can even stack your habits, right? If you were already still waking up early, even when you're in a slump, but you just can't get out of bed, wake up early and then say, okay, I'll wake up early and then read a book. Wake up early and then I'll go for a walk. But just stack some of the habits that you already have together. It works better like that, instead of trying to come up with new things all the time and disrupting the routine that you already had, right? Number 4 would be to time block all your tasks. This is very important because if you say, oh, I just want to do my assignment, okay, when? What do you need? What time? You get what I mean? So you need to be specific. If your assignment is due in 30 days, you need to tell yourself, I'm starting my assignment tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'm going to do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. But if you say, no, I need to start my assignment, when? You could start the assignment the night before the due date. That's also possible. So it's very extremely important for you to be time specific with any goal that you have. So time blocking is very important because when you wake up in the morning, you already know when are you doing everything and how long everything should last. That's all you need. Structure, organization, order. Very important. This takes me to my last point, which is to create routines. We need routines, guys. We can't run away from routines because routines give our lives structure. And where there's structure, it builds confidence in your own abilities. And when you have confidence in your own abilities, you tend to fall in less productivity slumps. Because productivity slumps is usually just when your routines are getting disrupted way too often, or maybe you're not sure about what you're doing, and it's also coupled with a little bit of doubt. So when you have created routines that can really boost you on your lowest days and you still stick to them even on your lowest days, they can really keep you up. Like, they can really get you going. So I am a fan of routines. Create routines every chance you get. Create a routine. If you're someone who falls into the afternoon or midday slumps, it would help you very much to have a specific routine that is tailored for those days or for those moments when you're feeling like, I just ate and I don't want to do anything. Have a routine that you can follow on those days. And if you're somebody who falls into like the evening slumps, also do the same thing. Have routines for those moments. Basically, plan for the times when you fall into a slump. You plan, you prevent the slump, but if you do fall into a slump, you must have a plan on how to get out of a slump, right? I say all this to say that low mood is part of life. It's okay to sometimes just feel a little bit out of it, but don't stay in that low mood for too long, okay? We are meant to go up and down, just like the seasons are hot and cold. Life is just like that. It's full of seasons, but we need to learn to get ourselves out of it and back into the best version of ourselves. And that is how we can get ourselves back on track, right? Okay, guys, let me know in the comment section if you have fallen into a slump lately, maybe because the weather has just been so cold and you didn't feel like doing anything, or something drastic happened to you and it just kind of put you off your tracks. Let me know how you got yourself out of that productivity slump and what are your goals moving forward. How are you planning on tackling the last quarter of the year? Until next time, guys, thank you for watching and I love you lots. Bye.